He's what we call, it begins with a B and ends with a H. I'm not like that. I'm more of a man. I don't really get on the internet talking crud.
Anthony Joshua has gone on the attack, dissecting Deontay Wilder's less than stellar performance recently against Tyson Fury, and this on the Chris Mannix Boxing Podcast on Apple iTunes. As you heard moments ago, also describing what he thinks of Wilder, who has previously attacked him multiple times on social media, including after his loss to Andy Ruiz Jr. in June 2019. See here on screen. So unified champion Joshua says part of Wilder's troubles recently came down to his championship resume.
In terms of how he went about it, I just believe that when Deontay Wilder gets to top tier level, it's going to be difficult for him to stay there due to the fact that he had so long bubbling around mediocre fights.
He also believes Wilder was guilty of believing his own hype.
You know, you got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I just got to be perfect for 1 second. He believed the hype, you know.
Joshua thinks Fury got the tactics spot on, and it showed Wilder cannot fight well going backwards.
Tyson Fury seemed to have done is, you know, sat on his back foot and edged forward ever so slightly to put Deontay Wilder on his back foot, where I think that Deontay Wilder struggled on his back foot to a certain degree, which we've seen across different fights. So I think Tyson Fury analysed the previous fight, realised that if you take away his half-decent jab and his good right hand, you know, he was slipping the right hand so it was shooting over. He had more of a chance in beating Deontay Wilder. So his tactics were spot on. Not only did he have the tactics to carry them out is another thing, and he managed to do it. And after all the hard work, it paid off. So, you know, we have 2 current heavyweight champions in Great Britain right now.
Joshua believes he would have fought Wilder in a similar way.
Okay, and I look in Deontay Wilder's tool bag of weapons. He has a right hand. So I say, how do we take that away from him? It's hard for a fighter to throw a powerful right hand moving backwards. So we need to put him on his back foot and be dominant in that sense. How do we take away the right hand when he's on his front foot? I need you to practice slipping it, making it shoot over your head, defending it with the lead hand. So these are tactics I would have done. And I thought once I take that main weapon away, there'll be a problem. I've never really seen him hurt anyone with an uppercut. I've never really seen him hurt anyone with a right hand to the body or with a left hook. So when I looked in the arsenal bag, I think that's the way: pressure and take away his main weapon, which is his right hand, and then you're 75% of the way to victory.
The unified champion says it was very tempting to go in on Wilder after he lost, but he opted not to at the time.
Oh yeah. I went into my drawer, I pulled out my long list of things to say. You know, I've got a lot of things I can say about Wilder, but, you know, you don't knock a man when he's down also. And that was at the top of the list. So I have to stand by those principles. But for sure, I think me and Wilder, as I say, are cut from a different cloth. You know, he's what we call, it begins with a B and ends with a H. I'm not like that. I'm more of a man. I don't really get on the internet talking crud. The only times you've really seen me talk recklessly is against Dylan White and against Jarrell Miller. But other than that, I'm an ambassador of the sport. I'm trying to be clean. I'm trying to be represent my sponsorships, represent the zone properly. So I try to stay away from the typical stereotype of a heavyweight boxer. So it's difficult, but I have it in me to fire up and talk recklessly when needed.
And Joshua, he's expecting Kubrat Pulev, his IBF mandatory, to be easy work.
But I got to look through Pulev because I'm going to walk through Pulev. That's the mindset. I got to walk through him. When it comes to Pulev, he ain't on my level. I'm walking through him. I want the boys at the top. I ain't worried about the boys, you know, around me. I'm walking through them all, and that's the mindset that we have to have as fighters. So I'm looking at Tyson Fury like I'm gonna walk through him as well, because I had my issue last year. I got through it, and I want to correct it. And I told you, like, people don't know what that does for a fighter mentally when he loses in front of the world and what it takes to come back. And, you know, having this time to reflect has been a blessing in disguise.